Jason Rzucidlo reporting inside the Laurel Manor in Livonia for the Michigan Film Town Hall meeting. The governor has wants to put a cap on the film industry for $25 million, and that would basically eliminate most of the films altogether. Find out what people have to say right here on AmericaJR.com.
Geoff Curtis, and I'm with Charlie's Talent Agency. I'm an actor.
So your position on the film incentive?
I think it's definitely something that's needed here in Michigan.
Now, how have you benefited from the incentive?
I've got a lot of work through the Charlie's Talent Agency, getting movie roles as well as extra roles through one of the real style extras.
Now, what are some of the maybe films or shows that you had worked on?
I did the movie Trust, the TV show Hung, as well as Detroit 187. There's Real Steel I did, as well as Street Kings of Motor City. The second, I think it's, yeah, the Street Kings of Motor City.
I heard the governor wants to put a cap of $25 million for the incentives. What do you think about that?
Well, I don't think it's enough. I mean, if last year we did over 200 million and they cap it at 25, there's no way that the industry can survive in Michigan.
Now, do you think it may come back with all the people protesting and holding events like this? Maybe he'll keep it on the books?
I'm certainly hoping so.
Any other remarks here today?
I'm sorry?
Any other comments?
No, but I wish that Governor Snyder would definitely keep this going.
Johnson, extra.
So how have you benefited from the tax incentive?
I benefited because my husband has a normal 9-to-5, and so it gives me the chance to go and work. Being a stay-at-home mom, it's a lot harder to work and not have a crazy schedule, so this gives me the opportunity to make a supplemental income and do what I love.
What would be your message to the governor? Because I understand he wants to put a cap on the incentives to $25 million.
What I want the governor to understand is when he takes this away from the people, they have to find other sources of revenue. And when they find other sources of revenue, they ended up looking for unemployment and other sources that actually are still going to cost the state money. So you take away one thing and all you're doing is paying into another. But this gives the people a chance to live out their dreams and to go to school and to actually see it here in Michigan. We have way too many art schools, not enough places to experience it, not enough places to show it.
You just showed me a drawing there of a dress. Talk to me a little bit about your dressmaking.
Well, I've been dressmaking, believe it or not, since I was probably 3 with tissue. And I've been sketching for years. And I just decided that, hey, I should go back to school for it because I see a future in movies. I actually see that I was able to be a part of something bigger, and it made me want to go back to school.
Any other comments here today?
No, I can't even. What'd you say?
What do you hope to get out of the meeting here today?
I hope to get a better understanding of the incentive itself and get a better understanding of why he said the things that he said, that why it's bad and why he should cap it. And then I want to get a better reflection on why he shouldn't, so that I can be educated in talking to him.
Governor Snyder, this is Michigan, and this is what we do. But in order to keep doing it, we're going to need some help. As has been described, we came together a number of years ago with maybe kind of a crazy idea, but it really wasn't so crazy. You see, we did research, and we examined what had happened in some of our sister states. And what this research showed was that there was a real ability to bring this industry to Michigan. There was a precedent that had been set. We carefully studied New Mexico, Connecticut, and Louisiana, and we saw that there was a proven formula. Now at this time, the governor is talking about some pretty radical changes to our tax policy in Michigan. I would ask him to tell us which states is he looking at to base this new tax structure on? Because it's quite a leap of faith. Indiana is discussed as a state with a 6% corporate rate. Have you been to Indiana? God love them. But they have not been spared from the economic downturn that has affected not only the Midwest, but parts of the whole country. So if you're going to take a winner, and that's what this is, we might hear crazy talk. We might hear studies that are presented as non-biased. But facts are facts. And there are some facts that we cannot run from. Fact number one, we set about doing this policy. Our number one goal was to stimulate jobs and investment at a time when this was not happening. You guys have been in Michigan. Governor Snyder's been in Michigan. Anybody that's looking around and has lived here has understood that this economic downturn is one of the worst in the history. This is not something that's happened every day. And so as we set out to make something happen that wasn't happening, if you've got 13 or 14% unemployment, you don't have enough jobs. Everybody remember that word, jobs? Jobs is that word that you hear about before November, and then after November, you start hearing some different words. Our number one goal was to create jobs. We wanted to provide an immediate stimulus. We knew that the patient was on life support, and we needed to bring in help. Based on looking at what had happened in these other states, we felt, relying on the expertise of some very special people who you've heard from and some that you will hear from, said this is what it's going to take. If we do this, they'll jump. They did. People need to remember that in 2007, the Michigan legislature passed a tax incentive for the film industry. Did you guys know that? Did anyone know that? It was a 12% sales tax exemption. In other words, if you came in and purchased goods in the process of making a movie, you could get a 12% sales tax exemption. It was irrelevant before the governor's signature on the paper dried. It didn't work. So in other words, we looked at the history, we examined best practices in other states, and we deployed a strategy. Now, one of the things that I like to point out about this process is bipartisanship. That's another thing that you hear about before November. And then after November, there's a different script, if you will.